And I am live now. All right. This is the first time I do a solo live on Substack. And they recently, Substack announced that we can do it from the desktop. So this is fun that I actually can do it from the desktop. And I am gonna try and see. Okay. First, the topic of my life today, is the multiple income streams behind my writing business. So I'm gonna first introduce myself, and then feel free to jump in, ask any questions, and then maybe I can also take Q&A at the end if anyone is watching or engaging. Anyway, this is the first time I do this, so let's see how it goes. All right. For those who don't know me, my name is Natasha Tynes. I'm a Jordanian American author, ghostwriter, journalist, and a podcaster. I'm also a solopreneur where I run a full time writing business. I've been doing that for almost 4 years now, and I won't have it any other way. There's, like, of course, ups and downs in the journey, and I made a lot of mistakes. I had to learn a lot, read a lot, hire coaches, all of that. And I'm still learning as I'm a student for life. So anyway, thanks for all my subscribers and anyone who followed along with this journey, commented, sent me a DM. I respond to every single comment. All right. So without further ado, let me get into today's topic. All right. So people usually ask me, and like the awkward question sometimes that happens is, what do you do for a living, right? Like, especially now during the holidays, people ask, so what do you do for a living, when you're like at the dinner table or whatever. So for me, my answer usually, which is the truth, which is I run a boutique media shop, a solo boutique media shop, where I provide content services to clients, and also I sell my digital products. So I would divide my multiple stream of incomes into three pillars. The first pillar, which is the biggest chunk of my income, is the services section. And the services section is either done for you or done with you. And the biggest income stream for me, which makes around 80% of my income, is the memoir ghostwriting. And yeah, thank you, Charlie and Joe, for joining me today. Appreciate it. All right. So, and also we have Greg now joining. So the memoir ghostwriting, which makes 80% of my income, is usually what I do is I write memoirs for founders, entrepreneurs, women with powerful stories. And the way it works is that we jump on a Zoom call, like around 10 sessions. Each session is 2 hours. I ask them the right question, get their stories, and then I get to work. Usually the process takes between 6 months to a whole year. It's a long process because you're documenting somebody's journey. But it's worth it for me financially, one, because it's my highest ticket, and two, rewarding for me because I learn from people's lives. I learn from their mistakes and from their joys, and it's like one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, and I would not trade it for anything else. And if you're interested, good afternoon, Gregory. And if you're interested in knowing more about how to get into ghostwriting, how to pitch, and how to get clients, I have a number of free resources. I'm happy to share them with you. All right. So that's the memoir ghostwriting. Another service that I provide, which is a newsletter ghostwriting. And this started a few years ago, where I approached a founder and I told him, I love your newsletter. I would love to contribute to it. And then they responded, they said, we don't have any vacancies. And then lo and behold, 6 months later, the person who used to write their newsletter quit, and then they remembered my pitch from like 6 months prior, and then so they hired me. And that for me opened the door to this service, which is I write newsletters for founders, for solopreneurs, for entrepreneurs. And the focus now is, for me at least, and maybe for everyone, is Substack, because it's where most of the growth is happening. So I write Substack newsletters, and I currently have a client that I've had for almost 3 years, and I ghost their Substack newsletter. They are focused on media development in the Middle East, and I love this client. I love their work. They send me a list of updates every month of what they've done, and then I just ghost write the whole thing for them. So it's a great gig, and I'm hoping to expand on it, and just to keep growing this. Again, if anyone wants to know how you get these clients, how you start the business, how to create the offer, happy to help you with that. All right. The other service that I provide is the book coaching service. And the book coaching service for me happened very organically, which is people started approaching me like, hey, Natasha, we saw that you wrote a book, and I actually wrote multiple books. And like, we want to write a book. Can you help us? And I realized, oh, there's a need. For a while, I thought that everyone knows how to write a book. And then I realized, actually, no, not everyone knows how to write a book. And I suffered from the curse of knowledge. So I decided to start sharing it through book coaching. And this is kind of like a done for you approach. And sometimes for me, if people approach me as well to ghost write their memoirs and they realize that my price is high, because I'm going to be writing the book codes for them, the book all the way, from the beginning to the end. And then so I downsell them to a book coaching offer where instead of me writing for you, I will write with you, where we meet, you do the first chapter, like the first draft, chapter by chapter, we jump on a call, we work on it together, I do live editing, and then I hold you accountable, I give you homework, this way, and then I promise that you'll finish your book in 120 days, which is another service or program that I provide. And the idea is that if you don't want to go with the ghostwriting offer, let's just do it together. So that is another thing. Another part of my services section is writing freelance articles in publications and book reviews and others. So yeah, I'm trained as a journalist, and I still pitch to publications. Publications sometimes approach me to write for them. So this can be book reviews. It can be like I write also for a local publication in this area, and sometimes they ask me to review new places that opened up or talk to experts and feature them in their local magazine. And since I'm trained as a journalist and I enjoy that, so it comes really naturally to me. So that is all in the bucket of the services section that I provide. And the second pillar of my income is the digital products. And it's not it does not bring as much income as the services section. And the dream is someday that I would just sleep on a beach in Bali or whatever, and then just all my digital products sell on their own. I'm not there. I'm not sure I will ever get there, but I'm going along with this. And my digital products first are or products in general. I mean, not only digital. So I have the books. So I have my books here that sell, and I try to publish one book a year. The new book that's coming out is a children's book. Now I'm working on it's with the illustrator. It's called The Lonely Cucumber, and it's coming out soon. The other two here, I have two novels that I published, Karma Unleashed and They Called Me Wyatt. And they bring, some income. Every month people buy here and there. Of course, the more I push, the more I go on events, the more people buy. But that's, I've been more focused on my services because that's where I, pay my bills and keep the lights on. Another, the digital products that I provide are courses. So I have a course on how to make income from ghostwriting. I have a course on how to monetize your writing. So these are just a bunch of the products that I sell. I'm also hoping to expand on that. And for anyone who's watching live, and if you have any questions, please feel free to jump in. And then the third section of my services is the workshops and the cohorts and the public speaking. So the way I do it is I train writers and journalists. W- Mostly what happens is people reach out to me. I admit I have to be a bit more proactive and reach out to more. Um, but for example, last year I was approached by a Ukrainian media organization, and they asked me to train their journalists on the art of pitching to publications. So I did that. It was an amazing experience. I heard these amazing stories from Ukraine, and we did it via Zoom. I was also approached by another media organization to train Jordanian journalists on the art of digital media marketing. So I did that as well, and I really enjoyed it. And then there's also the public speaking aspect, which I admit I need to do more of. And I recently got Veronica's course that she's selling on public speaking. And so the way I do it is I approach organization, and now I am focused on how to write your memoir as a kind of workshops slash event, and it's gonna be held here locally, and it's for an organization that focuses on veterans and gives them workshops on creative writing. So I approached them and I pitched this idea is how to write your memoir, and they approved, and I'm going to be doing that next month. Another example of like public speaking slash workshops is every 3 months I participate in podcasting conferences. I have a conference, and authors pitch their ideas to me, and I pick some of them to appear on my podcast. And of course, I get paid for taking part in this podcasting conference. Um, another thing is the cohorts, which they're kind of on hold now. I think due to low signups, or maybe I have not been marketing them enough. But I did a number of cohorts through a company called Maven, where the idea is a live cohort where I um, teach journalists and writers live, and then we also bring speakers, and then there's homework and a community aspect to it, and that, if marketed well, would be also a big chunk of my income. But unfortunately for me now, the signups was kind of low for me, and I decided to focus on the big ticket items that are actually paying my bills. I have a question here from Gregory, who says, Natasha, how did you market your books? I have a couple of mini ebooks I'm having trouble selling. Well, it's a good question, Gregory. And the way I market my books, there's different ways. I appear on podcasts. That's one. And on my podcast, I recently started adding a mid-roll announcement where, hey, by the way, I have this new book. So people who listen to my podcast would hear me promoting my book in the middle of the show. That's another way. I also add a plug in my in my email signature. So people who email me will find that plug. Another way is I have marketing funnels. So, for example, I give away a short story for free. I put it on Gumroad, and I try to advertise it either in my newsletter or whatever. And if people enjoy it and people download it for free, they read the short story, and I say, hey, if you enjoyed my writing, you might as well, you might want to check out my new novel, which kind of have similar themes or whatever. And this is done automatically in the background through a marketing funnels that takes people through this. So there's different ways. I also want to start going to local book events where I can like rent a table, pay like not rent, like yeah, rent a booth or a table, whatever, for sometimes like $20-$30, and just actually physically bring the book. And there are other ways where you can do local library and other stuff. But if Gregory, you're selling ebooks, so the physical parts might not work for you, I would say focus on digital marketing funnels where you can give them a lead magnet for free, and then the lead magnet would take them through a marketing channel where if they enjoyed your writing, they want to check out your book. Another thing is Amazon KDP ads. I invested in some of them and I sold some books. And I'm not the expert when it comes to Amazon KDP, but there are a lot of experts who can help you refine your marketing strategy through Amazon KDP. So for you, Gregory, I would say Amazon KDP ads and marketing funnels. All right. And there's a question from Joe. For your ghostwriting clients, for a fee, do you offer to build their author platform or do you marketing for their book launch? That is a very good question, Joe. And in the beginning, I just do the book for them. But then I realized they started coming to me and asking, saying, hey, how can we, can you help us with the marketing, this and that? So I started adding it as an add-on. So like you upsell them the marketing and even the publishing part of it, which is interesting. And the reason I say that, because all of these things happened organically during to demand. So after I finished the book with them, many of them, they want to try the traditional route, and then they go and pitch to agent. And some of them want to self-publish. And so I started offering self-publishing services. And my goal for this year is to also self-publish through my imprint, which is Suburban Media Group. So I'll give you an example here. This is my book, Karma Unleashed. And if you look, it's published by my imprint called Suburban Media Group. And so because I have an LLC, you can create an imprint from your LLC. And it took me a while to figure out how to do this, but I can do it. So that's something like if I can publish my books through my own LLC, why can't I offer this service to others? So these are some of the ideas that I'm thinking of for 2026. And this is exactly why I love doing what I'm doing, is because I'm always thinking, I'm always creative, I'm always thinking of new ideas. And I try to base it on the market fit and what happens when people ask me for services or they have problems and I try to fix them. And I think that's the best approach, because in the beginning, I made the rookie mistake of like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to sell this without like validating the idea, without validating the offer, without validating the product. And of course, surprise, surprise, it didn't sell. So now most of what I offer is based what people ask me for and what they're struggling with. So what are my goals for 2026? I actually have them here. I have this like white bulletin board and I put it here on my desk, just to try to keep my eye on my goals for 2026. Because like I was listening to something the other day and some guy said, what are your goals? Where did you write your goals for this year? And the guy said, I don't have a written goal. And the guy told him, yeah, then I have an idea how your bank account looks like if you don't have written goals. And this has kind of resonated with me, is as if you don't actually write your goals, is there are dreams. They're not anything to achieve. So anyway, so the goals that I have for 2026 is I have a novel that I've been working on for on and off, and I wanna finish. It's called The Building. I hope to get yeah, maybe I'm being too ambitious here, but I'm like trying to get 10 new book coaching clients for the 2026 and 3 ghostwriting clients, push the sale of my digital products, and then go to books, book fairs, events, bookshops, and promote my books. And then I want to experiment with creating Arabic products. So I was born in the Middle East and I speak Arabic fluently, and I realized that there's a need for Arabic content, and especially on Substack, because very few Arab writers are on Substack. So I'm trying to maybe build, since it's still early, there's no one there, try to build some sort of an audience on Substacks in Arabic and experiment with it. So far, it's been kind of slow, I guess, because Substack is not Arabic friendly when it comes to like right to left languages, and I'm struggling with that. So we'll see. So these are my goals for 2026. Jo has, she says, I love that test and learn approach. Otherwise, I think about a lot of ideas, but don't put them in the word. That's very true, Jo. And I made that mistake. Like it's kind of based on my own arrogance and the idea, like I know what people want, like I have 25 years of experience. I know what the marketing wants. Surprise, no, I don't actually know what people want unless I talk to them or they talk to me. And so I had to to humble myself and to understand what people problems are, and to make sure that what I am creating is provides actual value. So that was what, the rookie mistake I did early when I started this solopreneurship writing journey. Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much how I run these multiple streams of incomes, and it's like wonderful, and I enjoy part of it. And I just to be honest, sometimes I get frustrated and I just want to burn it all, and I don't want to do this anymore if I'm dealing with a difficult client, or if my cash flow for that month is not what I wanted to. But honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything else, because I work on my own terms. I choose my clients. I have the flexibility to pick up my kids from school, volunteer at the school, go and spend my time with my parents in Jordan and work from there. So that flexibility is worth it. I do work a lot. I'm not gonna lie and tell you I just work 2 hours a day, and no, that's not the reality. The reality is, sometimes I clock between 5 to 8 hours a day, and and sometimes I work less, and it's mostly structured early morning until when the kids are at school, and I do like sometimes a night shift after they go to bed. So I work weekends and holidays. I do work a lot, but I have a goal and I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying loving Substack as well. Substack also can be part of my, let's say, paid products or digital products section of my multiple stream of incomes. I currently have 5 paid subscribers. I know that's not a big number, but it is something, and I have not been pushing the paid as much as I should, because again, most of my time is being taken by client work and pitching to new clients, because like my priority and the thing that would move the needle the most for me is the services part of my product. And I see Anferni here. He just joined. Hi, Anferni. And during our chat with Anferni, he told me, Natasha, well, services is not scalable as digital products. I know. Anferni is somebody who mastered the digital product game. I'm not quite there. I would hopefully be one day a person who can live, have an income just from selling my digital products, but I'm not there. Being completely honest and transparent, most of my focus is selling services that I listed here. So again, this is my first live alone. I do, live with other, and I hope this was helpful to you, to just giving you behind the scene a view of what I do. And if you're interested on how I run my day to day, it's my first priority is finish client work, and then I go back to pitching or DMMing clients, potential clients, and then I go back to the promotion part, the client, which is posting on social media, posting content, and then I keep the admin part of my work to the night. I call it the night shift, which is when the kids go to sleep. Is that when I respond to email, fill forms, whatever. But I try to keep the most creative parts in the morning where my energy is high. And something I want to say is exercise is a huge part of being successful in this journey. Is if I had to learn this the hard way, because I've always been kind of the book nerd, not the athletic type, but I realized that I needed to uh, uh, make sure that the infrastructure, which is my physical and mental health, is in top shape in order to be able to adapt to this lifestyle of the up and down of the internship journey, and keeping up with exercise, going to the gym, like signing up for races. Like now I'm training for a half marathon, is really helping me keep up with this and keeping me creative and keeping the creative juices flowing. So Joe here saying, hey, a way to be brave. You are inspiring. Thank you, Joe, for your kind words. I'm glad this helpful. And so if you have any questions, I'm here. I've been talking to the camera for almost 30 minutes now. And if you want any ideas for the next session, please let me know. I'm doing them for free for everyone. I'm not charging anything. This one was kind of more generic, which is taking you through the multiple income stream. If you want me to focus on something in particular, like how to get ghostwriting clients, how to grow on Substack, whatever you want, please feel free to DM me or email me. But otherwise, this was my first live. I hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please just drop in the comments one thing that you thought was helpful, that you heard today, and I would love to double down on it next time. Okay. So Joe is asking, could you chat about setting up your email funnel and using freebies in an upcoming live or post? Yeah. So I do that through a platform called Kit, and also through Gumroad. So through Kit, anyone who subscribed to my Substack newsletter, I put them in a funnel on Kit. It's the welcome new subscriber funnel, and it's a series of 8 emails, I think. And the funnel starts like, thank you for being a subscriber. That's the first email. Here's a free gift for you. The free gift can be linked to free email course or another freebie. and then they get tagged. So if they open, let's say, if I gave them a freebie on a ghostwriting and they open the ghostwriting, then I tag them as interested in my ghostwriting products or services. And then the funnel waits a couple of emails and maybe send them a link to a YouTube channel, a YouTube video that I recorded where I offered some value. And then the third one would be about like an article I wrote. And then at the end would be, hey, by the way, I have a new book published. If you're interested, here's the link. So they go through that funnel, and the funnel like moves them through different routes. It's like, remember those books when we were kids, like choose your own adventure? So it's kind of like this. It's fun. So you look at the funnel. Somebody is like opens the ghostwriting freebie, and then it takes them into a ghostwriting funnel. Someone opens the email, like how to monetize your writing email course. It takes them into another funnel, and so this is all done in the background. So I don't even do anything. It needs a lot of tweaking. It needs a lot of still work, but at least I have it set up. Every once in a while, I go back and update it, adjust it, add this, remove that. And then Gumroad, and actually, and Fernie taught me this, is Gumroad is, they have the freebie, and I also use the Gumroad workflow when they get a freebie. So, for example, if they download, I have one for people who want to get into ghostwriting. It's actually very helpful, honestly. It's not just a lead magnet. I took part of my paid course and I gave it for free, and it's how to um, uh, emulate your client's persona when you're ghostwriting for them, and how you like know their voice and write in their voice. So it's a whole free recorded session. So if people go and download it, that they get into the workflow of the ghostwriting funnel, which I can give them more freebies. And then, hey, by the way, I have this course, and since you downloaded this course, I usually this course for like $75. For you, I give you $50 because you downloaded my freebie. So for many of them, they already got the value from the lead magnet. It will be a no-brainer for them to get the course. So again, I'm still adjusting and working and trying, but that's how I've been doing it, and I'm getting some moderate success doing that. I hope I answered your question, Joe. Great. Any other questions, or anything that you felt resonated with you today that you found helpful? I am happy to double down on it for next time. And please feel free to email me any ideas for my next live next week, Friday at noon. I'm gonna do my best to do these office hours or live sessions every Friday at noon, just to get in touch with the subscribers, share my journey behind the scene, and answer any questions you might have. And since we don't have any other questions, I think this is it for today, for my first solo live. And let's please stay in touch. You have my email, or the chat is also open. And thank you for everyone that joined. Until we meet again, and see you next week. Take care. Bye.